Peter Valley, FBAMastery.com. In this video, I'm going to cover the great book condition debate around good condition versus very good condition. How do you know when to apply one versus the other when you've got a used book to sell on Amazon? There's a lot of money on the line here. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you peace of mind so you know when you've got a book in your hand whether to list it as good or very good condition. Let's get into what we're going to cover. Part one, Amazon's definition of good and very good condition. Let's find out what Amazon has to say, how they define it. Part two, I'm going to give you what I think is the real definition. We're going to discard Amazon's definition of each of these, and I'm going to give you what I think is the actual definition that you can apply to your business. And part three, the two ways that Amazon sellers get this good versus very good question completely wrong and end up costing them a lot of money. Okay, so before we decide how to apply good and very good condition and when to apply it, we have to figure out, well, what does Amazon say about this? What are Amazon's guidelines? So here's what Amazon has to say. Used very good condition, this is right off the Amazon site, is a copy that has been read but is in excellent condition. Pages are intact and not marred by notes or highlighting, and the spine remains undamaged. Okay, you guys, what? Like, what did we just read there? That tells us almost nothing. That gives us nothing, like nothing specific and actionable to work with. Okay, so that's almost totally worthless, leaves tons of questions. Now, here's Amazon's definition of good condition. Used good condition, a copy that has been read but remains in clean condition. All pages are intact and the cover is intact, including the dust cover if applicable. The spine may show signs of wear. Pages can include limited notes and highlighting, and the copy can include from the library of labels, meaning ex-library books are perfectly acceptable. Again, you guys, like what? What did we just read? Our business is on the line here, and Amazon is giving us nothing useful to work with. There's very little in what we just read that guides me towards, hey, this is definitely a good condition book or definitely very good. Here's some of the questions that I personally have after reading Amazon's definitions. Number one, like, what about stickers? What about lots of stickers? What about a giant, huge crease in the cover? Is that good? Is that very good? Amazon doesn't answer that. What about tears in the cover? What does limited notes and highlighting mean? I have no idea. What about pen markings on the front cover, back cover? Like, I could go on and on, right? So many questions are unanswered. Okay, so what do you say right now? We give you my battle-tested definition of good versus very good that completely makes Amazon's definition obsolete and gives us something we can work with. I've got a 97% positive feedback score. What I'm doing is working. I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. But I have to mercifully, briefly get this out of the way. Please subscribe and like the channel right now. And you can build an entire business off of what I give away for free over at FBAMastery.com. There's a link above and below this video. You got free reports, free web classes. If you do not subscribe and go to FBAMastery.com right now, I will personally come to your house. I will find your dog and I will put a Godzilla hat on your dog so that when you come home from work or whatever you're doing, you will not think you're being greeted by your dog. You will think you're being greeted by Godzilla, and you will possibly have a heart attack, and you may not survive. All this can be avoided if you just simply go to FBAMastery.com right now, get all the free stuff you see here, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I got to mention, I have an article version of this video that allows me to go a little bit more in depth than I'm able to in this video, probably 20% more in depth. You can link to that also at the top of this video and below. Let's get into it. Since Amazon's definition leaves us completely riddled with ambiguity and uncertainty and confusion and tears, I'm going to give you my definition of good condition that has been battle tested over years. Okay, so here it is. What I call the real definition of good condition: when there is a specific and definable blemish or damage to a book versus merely just shelving wear or reading wear, or the wear is extremely heavy. Now, I had to do a lot to pack this into one sentence, so please forgive me here. But what I'm saying here is, if you got a blemish that's not just merely wear, it is actually specific and definable, then I would consider that to be a good condition copy. In other words, I'll show you a book here in a second that's got a giant crease down the cover. That's a good example. Maybe like some writing on a couple pages, stuff like that, right? It's specific and definable. And when the wear is not specific and definable, it still can be good condition if the wear is extremely heavy. Okay, so what do you say we show you an example of a book I would consider to be good condition right now? Okay, so you get a copy. This book's called The Stranger, and you can see it's got some significant wear around the edges. I think most Amazon sellers, I shouldn't say most, I think a lot of Amazon sellers, even if you ignore this crease, which we'll get to in a second, I think a lot of Amazon sellers would consider this to be a good condition book regardless of that crease. I think they would be wrong. I think, or at least I don't think that would be the optimal decision, I will say. Even though it does have some wear, it's still considered a average used book. Nothing about it is, none of the blemishes are significant, yet if we eliminate that crease. But you see where this is going. The crease is what I believe brings it into the realm of good condition. That crease is specific and definable. It is not just merely, quote, wear. It is a specific blemish we can point to and give a name to and go, oh, there is a crease down the middle of the cover. So that specifically is the only thing that I think would put this book into the realm of good conditions. Now let's get to the definition, of the real definition, as I call it, of very good condition. It is as follows: a used book that lacks anything that can be defined as damage. So again, it's just a flip side of what I just said. It is book that just has general, unfocused, unspecific wear. Make sense? With the exception being if that wear is very, very heavy. And that's where we get into some subjectivity here. But for me personally, the wear has to be very significant for me to bump a book down into good condition. I think a lot of sellers here by default look at any amount of wear beyond the lightest wear and just bump a book down into good condition. And I do think that's not the best decision. So let's look at a book that I would consider to be very good condition. Not much to say about this. A generic used book, some light blemishes, nothing significant going on here. And you can just see this just got a couple bumps, a slight crease on the cover, nothing significant. This is just a general average used book, and for that reason, I would list it in very good condition. So just to recap, it's the specificity of damage. In other words, it could just be highlighted on a few pages. It could be, like a really big sticker that would bump a book down because again, it's specific, it's definable. A tear that's maybe more than like half an inch. Because a small tear, it's not really, you can't really call it a tear, right? It's just a little nick, right? But something you can actually identify as a tear, that's specific, that's definable, that would bump a book down into good condition. Or if a book has a dust cover, if it's missing the dust cover, that would be good condition in my opinion. Specific and definable, that's the rule. Okay, I'm gonna give a little editorial here. Do you guys wanna hear what I think is the number one way that Amazon sellers completely screw up this kind of debate between good versus very good condition? Here's the number one. I'm gonna give you two. Here's number one. Pricing a book in good condition differently than a book in very good condition. Massive, in my opinion, massive mistake. In other words, this can go as far as Amazon sellers literally considering, if they've got a very good condition book in their hand, considering any competing offer in good condition as not competitive whatsoever and only pricing against other very good or like new offers. I think that is a massive mistake. I think in the minds of Amazon customers, they consider very good and good condition all just to be, generally speaking, an average used book. Now, if given the choice between good and very good, of course they're going to choose very good if the price is the same. But I don't see buyers having a very strong preference of one versus the other. Doesn't mean it doesn't help to have your book in very good condition. Of course it does. That's why I'm advocating for not grading too conservatively. Bottom line, the chance of any buyer coming along and willing to pay significantly more for your very good copy over a good copy, I think those buyers are very few and far between. Okay, do you guys want to hear the number two way that Amazon sellers mess up this good versus very good question? It's grading books too conservatively. It's considering any book that has anything other than the lightest amount of wear to be good condition. I think it's a massive mistake. I think even though on a book by book basis, the value difference is going to be small, that can really add up if you're selling hundreds, thousands of books a month. You don't need to grade. And, as a general policy, it is good in business to underpromise and overdeliver. So I don't want to say otherwise. But again, let's get in the minds of the customer here. Good versus very good translates into a general average used book in the minds of Amazon customers. So you're really not doing anyone a service here by taking a book that's got a little ding in the corner or, like a slight amount of wear around the edges and considering that a good condition book. Nobody is served by that. My feedback score right now is 97%. So if I was doing something wrong, this would have translated into negative feedback, and it simply hasn't. Now, what does listing a book as good versus very good translate to in terms of sales? Do books in very good condition get significantly more sales than books in good condition? The answer is we don't know. I have not seen a significant difference. And of course, a buyer's going to come along. If they see good and very good side by side, all other things being equal, they'll probably going to opt for the very good condition offer. But again, I don't think the difference is that significant, which in a way might seem like it's undermining a lot of what I've said up to this point, but not really. I'm just saying there's no reason to unnecessarily grade conservatively if you're not serving the customer. There's just no reason to do that. So all that really matters here, the only arbiter as to whether you're doing something right and grading a book correctly is the customer satisfied? And again, I feel very confident in my approach to this because my feedback score is reflecting my feedback score. But on the flip side, I would not sweat the details too much. In other words, I wouldn't stress over, oh my God, I got a book. I don't know what to do. I'm going to list it in good condition, but I'm concerned I'm not going to get a customer a sale. You're going to get a sale. Customers don't care that much. Okay, now that we've understood the difference between good and very good condition on Amazon, you now have a 3-part mission. Are you ready? Mission number 1, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can build a whole business off of what I give away for free on this channel. Click the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel immediately. Mission number 2, go to FBAmastery.com. There is a link below this video as well. You can build a whole business off of what I give away for free reports, free web classes, tons of stuff. Head over there right now, or as I said, I will put a Godzilla hat on your dog when you're out for the day. So when you come home, you will think you're getting attacked. It's not going to be pretty. Mission number 3, take what you learned in this video and put it into practice. Go make money with it. I didn't make this video for entertainment. This is a video meant for you to put into practice and actually improve your Amazon business. So please do that. This is Peter Valley signing off, and I'll see you in the next video.